Days Gone is one of my favorite games this year, and I really think that in terms of storytelling and presentation, it's one of the best games of 2019. We now got the final update, 1.60. It's 20 gigs, it shows less here because I re-downloaded it, but it actually combines all the previous updates, and it adds some awesome features and also content to the game. On Reddit they note that the final features patch is here, meaning that while we might see some bug fixes in the future, we should not expect any new content or features for Days Gone. The support is over, and let's be honest, it has been great. Although we of course always had our fingers crossed for some story DLC. And we actually had some hints as to where we might go in future content. So is this now for the sequel? In this video I want to look at the future of Days Gone that looks to be pretty bright, and also go over all the new additions of this new update. So let's get into it. Would of course be awesome if you could leave a like on the video, really helps the channel out. And let's go. The biggest new feature of this update is without a doubt the ability to reset jobs. So ambush camps against the marauders and the rippers, all the hordes that then reappear in the world, and also the infestations. So if you reset the job, you will not be able to fast travel very easily again. No, but overall this is of course a great feature, because it was always weird that you unlocked some of the best weapons by completing the jobs. So then you had the best weapon and then there was no real content to play anymore because you completed everything already. Well, now you can do these activities again. We of course had the New Game Plus mode, but then you had to go through the story again. Now you can just stay in your current save and repopulate the camps or the horde areas. So you can basically do them over and over again if you want. To do this, you want to go to the options and then you will see reset jobs, and then just select the job that you want to reset. You need to have 100% with the job though before you can reset it. And you also need to finish all the main story missions before you see this option in the menu. Another major requested feature or addition has been added to with this update. It's a pretty big story spoiler, so I will touch on it at the end of the video and give you a spoiler warning before it. Let's now go over something that I don't think was requested, but it's very cool. They namely added some Death Stranding inspired stuff. I really love how they added decals for the big PlayStation exclusives like Uncharted. My favorite one is the one from Horizon. They also added one for Siphon Filter, the major franchise that Sony Bet of course worked on before Days Gone. And we now got new decals for Death Stranding, a black one and a BB orange one. But they went the extra mile this time because they also added fuel tanks. We got like a regular Death Stranding tank that looks pretty cool, but the other one is some next level stuff. We namely got a BB in a tank, and a BB is a bridge baby from Death Stranding, if you're not familiar, that Norman Reedus like is carrying around. And with a BB you can see the BTs, like the ghost creatures in Death Stranding. Well, now this BB can be in your fuel tank, and it moves around too when you ride. Yes, it's kind of disturbing, but also very awesome. Now you just want to be extra careful with your bike, because you are carrying this baby around too. You get this one and the other Death Stranding fuel tank in the Diamond Lake camp at the mechanic, like you can only get it there. And the regular Death Stranding tank is 3,800 credits, and the BB one is 4,000 credits, and they both have the same stats as the best fuel tank in the game. So it's just an awesome alternative. I really like it, and it once again shows you the dedication from the Sony Band team to add fun and free awesome things to the game for the people that are still playing or people that are picking it up this Christmas. And I really hope that a lot of people do. Again, Days Gone is still one of my favorite games this year. The story with Deacon was awesome and emotional. Something I won't forget soon, and I will always recommend it to other people, like now even more than ever. It will likely get a steep discount during Black Friday and just overall during the holiday period. And it has just way more features than it had at launch. We now got the New Game Plus mode. I really liked the fun challenges they did, especially the combat ones. You got more difficulties to choose from, accessibility options. And I feel that one of the major complaints that I and many people had has been improved upon by a lot. Like in my experience, if you play the game right now, then you will have way less frame drops and glitches than around the launch of the game. It did not really ruin my experience, but it totally took me out of it for sure. The game was just very poorly optimized, but I don't see the same issues, or actually any issues, when I play the game right now on PS4 Pro, so that is really great. And I wanted more, like a new story to experience, like an expansion or a DLC would have been awesome. And there were hints that there was more to this game. We of course had the new Pinnacles region that a streamer Femstef found when being launched into the air, while this region was not in the game. And looking at the real world map of Oregon where Days Gone is set, you see the Pinnacles region like actually close to Crater Lake and Wizard Island. So suggesting that the roads that are now blocked in this region lead to this Pinnacles area. So you would think that this was maybe planned for future content or just cut from the main game. We also had an in-game collectible for Taylor that talked about the Pinnacles camp that he had to go to, but we actually never could visit in the main game. Well, seems like we will never be able to go to that region, at least in the original. Maybe they keep it for the sequel. Sony Band is currently already in pre-production for the next title, as we see on the LinkedIn page from Jeremy Vickery, who is a senior staff lightning lead at Sony Band. So he worked on Days Gone and is now working on a next title. In July of this year, Sony Band was already looking for a producer to help us create our next AAA title that will set the PS4 apart from the rest. Yes, the PS4 part is pretty noteworthy because we already know that the PlayStation 5 will launch in the fall of 2020. So are they really starting to work on a PS4 game now? Could of course be that they put PS4 there because they could not talk about PS5 yet, but we will find out soon enough. And I think it's obvious that this next title is Days Gone 2. Days Gone sold extremely well. In the US it was the second best-selling game of April and the 7th highest debut month sales of a Sony published title. And that's really huge if you look at all the games that Sony published over the years, like Naughty Dog for example, all the Uncharted games, and The Last of Us are already 5. So Days Gone being the 7th of all the Sony published games is amazing. They really got a hit on their hands. They, by the way, sold more than Death Stranding in the first week in the UK. Pretty huge. And I think they want to release a game faster than during this generation. Their last game, namely before Days Gone, was Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita that launched in December 2011 in Japan. So if they started from scratch again to work on a new IP, that would be another 5 years or something, while they could also focus on a sequel and build upon the foundation of the first game and learn from the feedback and incorporate that in this next title. And I mean, we got of course the teases at the end of some of the storylines that happen after you finish the main story. I can't wait to see how that develops, and I'm totally sure that we will see that. Maybe I should not look too much into this, but Jeff Ross, the game director of Days Gone, liked my tweet about Days Gone 2 and that it might come to the PS4. Could be nothing, but I thought it was still worth noting. I made a video on why the PlayStation 5 is already a must buy, and the fact that Days Gone 2 or the next game from Band Studio in general will be on this system should be exciting enough. It's very likely that we will see Kratos, Aloy, Spider-Man and Deacon as part of the PlayStation 5 lineup in the first 3 years. And I totally expect some big surprises on this next PlayStation 2. You can watch that big video on some announced and unannounced PS5 games by clicking on the screen, but I will also link to it at the end of this video, because first we need to look at another really cool addition. So spoiler warning for if you haven't finished the story of Days Gone yet. If you leave, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for everything on the big PS4 exclusives. A like on this video would be super appreciated. And now let's go into spoiler mode and go to Iron Mike's camp. Because right now, after you finish the game, you will actually see Sarah there next to Boozer, just chilling on a chair, wiggling her head around. So this is in Boozer and your house. Before this update, she was really nowhere to be found after the main story. And that was of course kind of weird, but now they gave her a safe and relaxing place, and even if you sleep like during night, they will still be there outside. It's a very nice and happy ending. I expect Sony Band and Days Gone to lay low for a while now, but when we know more about the future of the series, I will of course let you know here on the channel. and you can watch that PS5 video again by clicking on the screen. For now, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.